Hello and welcome to the Valley. Today, I am your host, Janet Michael. It is United Way Day, the first work day of 2026. Andy Gale is joining me. He, of course, is their CEO, and he is not working today as we're recording not yet into 2026. But thank you, Andy Gale, for taking one of your vacation days to record with me anyway.
It's always a joy to jump on, Janet. You make it easy.
There's a lot that is going on that we're planning for in 2026 for United Way Northern Shenandoah Valley. We've got a lot of cool, fun events that are in the works. We've got some changes that we're going to be making. But I wonder how many people really understand just the basics of United Way worldwide, first of all, much less how we filter that down here in our community. But there are pillars that United Way has that they want us to operate under when it comes to the needs in our community, right?
Yeah, so they give us the opportunity to really look at their buckets and pillars and say, how does that apply to our community? So, at United Way, they take a comprehensive approach to addressing the most urgent challenges, but specific to the community. So, for us, that's Winchester City, Frederick, Clark, Warren, Shenandoah, and Page counties, which we as the Northern Valley do have similarities. Some are different, some areas need better support than others. But United Way Worldwide talked to all their 300 and some local chapters, looked at what everyone was doing, and it's really distilled them down. They're similar for those that have known them from the past, but the first one is healthy community. So, improving the health and well being for all by focusing on improving healthcare access, maternal and childhood health, nutrition, food security, and more. We always said education before. It's now been focused to youth opportunities. So, United Way wants to empower youth to reach their full potential through literacy support, quality education, after school enrichment, college, and career readiness. So, really, it's early childhood and workforce, which is pretty cool. Financial stability, that's one that has stayed the same, creates a strong financial future for every generation through its work in areas like financial education, small business support, food, shelter, clothing, things like that. And the new one that came in last year, we adopted now, it's community resiliency. People know United Way helps in disasters. It's really looking at urgent needs for a better tomorrow through initiatives like 211, the crisis hotline. So that's a number that you can call and get support and get guided to navigation services throughout the Commonwealth. The 17 United Ways in Virginia plus Serve Virginia have come together to support that. United Way Worldwide is doing it as well. They do disaster relief and recovery, environmental sustainability, and emergency preparedness. So it's really focused on looking at what we can change now to keep us stronger in the future. So it's looking at the upstream effect. So youth opportunity and community resiliency are really upstream. They're looking at the future. Healthy communities and financial stability is a sort of helping the now. So it's a nice balance for both. And we can get specific to what's happening and what we're seeing in our communities.
You almost have to have that. You can't just always be putting out a current fire. You have to look at what caused those fires in order to prevent them from happening over and over again. And that's what these pillars really try to embrace.
Yeah, definitely. I had a really great conversation with Kim Herbstritt from Habitat the other day where she was talking about if you think of the model as a river, if you notice people are drowning, you got to figure out first, how can we save them now? But also, how are they getting into the river? You got to look upstream to how they get in as well as how to save them. So it's that dual-sided picture. She had a great graph in a study she sent me that was really fascinating. And it's really what we want to do as the United Way. We want to be both the now, the emergency funds, things like that, but we also want to look upriver to have a way to prevent things from happening.
Kim Herbstritt, I got to say, is the queen of analogies. Every conversation I have ever had with her, she always says, well, look at it this way, and then has this way of explaining such a complicated issue in a way that you completely and totally understand it. I love that about her.
Yeah, definitely. We always end up scheduling meetings that run over because we're ping ponging all of here and trying to solve the world's problems. It's great. I enjoy those.
These pillars play a pretty solid role in how we determine where we're going to disperse funds that we also collect and fundraise for. That's where the impact grant focuses come from. It's where these micro grants that we're going to be looking at in the new year come from. It's where giving circles that we're going to be doing in the new year will come from. It all stems from these basic pillars.
Yeah, those are the guides. I've used the analogy with you guys on the board and others talking that our ship is strong. It's not leaking, it's not sinking, the sails are up. We're just now looking at the map of where we want to go. 2026 is the year the United Way Northern Shenandoah Valley turns 80. So we want to respect our history, look forward, but also really make sure that we're doing what we need to do as a United Way. United Ways for years, when it was the Community Chest, then the United Fund, and now the United Way. It's evolved, it's changed with the needs, with the communities. And that's where we are right now. It's a unique spot for us to look and say, how can we make a difference? Workplace giving is still always going to be at our core. But now a lot of workplaces, people working remote. How can we get community members to give? How can we get small businesses, select groups? How can we really come up with a way to get our community engaged in investing and improving the community? You can always do your direct gifts to other nonprofits, but if you just want to give to the good of the community, that's where we come in. We can help. You can tell us who to give it to. You can ask us what's going on. When the SNAP cuts were happening, I can't tell you how many people were calling me saying, hey, we want to make a difference. How can we help? Do we give to you? Do we give direct? And at that point, we were saying, hey, call Blue Ridge Area Food Bank. They're the ones, they're the front lines. Call CCAP. Or, hey, you want to look towards education? We've had foundations calls and say, we see the work you're doing. How can we get more involved? How can we improve early childhood in this region? We're happy to help and roll that in. So we're pivoting, we're agile, we're trying to not do everything for everyone. That's unsustainable. We don't want scope creep, but our pillars are really those guiding principles that we can align our projects to.
The other important thing for people to remember is that when they give to United Way, that then strengthens our credibility, if that's even the right word. But it means we, as an organization, can go out and get grants. I remember Kim hadn't been on the job, what, 5 days,
Yep.
and she landed $100,000 grant for our southern regions. Individually, those nonprofits would not have been able to get that grant. But when we have donors to the size that we have, it allows us to say, hey, look, we've got skin in the game. Give us this big grant and we'll manage it and then make sure these projects in this area or that area or under this particular type of issue or need are met. We have that ability.
We do. And Kim Wilt on my team is one of the best grant writers and researchers I've ever met. And I'm just so happy to be working with her and doing this kind of stuff where, yeah, she came to me on day 4 and said, hey, I found this grant. Can we try it? I'm like, sure, why not? And next thing you know, this organization had invested in rural counties, and we made the case for the southern counties just doing basic needs. So repairs, food, shelter, clothing, things like that. And it was really great for them to say, wait, you can do it. With United Way, we have an endowment. We give out a lot of money. We are a known brand. We then sub-granted it out to Loveton Nick. It was Warren County Habitat. It was Shenandoah Alliance for Shelter. It was Habitat up here. It was a lot of people doing work in those southern counties, really helping with basic needs. Page One was able to do a lot. And we projected when we wrote the grant to help 700 families. It ended up helping over 2,700 families in the southern counties with $100,000. So it's things like that that United Way is in a unique position. There's grants that we'll write that we share with partners. There's grants that we wouldn't qualify for that we're going to call and say, hey, we found this. You should apply. Really want to be that sort of central hub for doing good. Our mission is all about helping people do good for the community and help each other succeed. We want to do that with the nonprofits. They're our partners. This isn't an us versus them. This isn't a, ooh, let's take all the money and keep it for ourselves. No, our goal is to bring money in and get it out the door to do the projects. And I mean, we're sub-grantees with Charlottesville. So United Way Greater Charlottesville is the Ready region. They're doing a ton of early childhood work, and Ravi, Meredith, and their whole team are phenomenal. They said, hey, you're working in the Northern Valley doing stuff. We got this grant. Would you partner with us on it? So it's helped us get some grant-funded positions on our team. It's helping spur early childhood work in our community and in the Valley that really needs it. And it's really neat way when we all start working together, this sort of symbiotic relationship with the little nonprofits, the United Ways, larger foundations. And it's just that catalyst for community change and convening of conversations.
I think that many of the nonprofits, if not most of the nonprofits in our communities, are starting to understand and realize the value of that collaboration. 10 years ago, probably 15 years ago, I think it was a whole lot more of no, this is my pile, and I'm going to keep my pile to myself right over here. And now it's, hey, I have this pile, and your pile's a little different, but if we put our piles together, we can serve even more people and maybe solve a problem that we don't have to keep solving on a regular basis. Most of the nonprofits in our area now are way more open to doing those kinds of things, but they don't really know where to start. And that's where an organization like United Way comes in.
That's the thing. I go to a lot of meetings that just for conversation, and it's, hey, you guys were talking to this, you're doing that. I just talked to you last week. Why don't we all come together? We're doing that with NW Works, Shinpaco, and a couple other smaller orgs down in Page that are doing work with those with intellectual challenges that they know each other. They don't talk, but how could they all collaborate on grants, on different things? How can they share the resources? That's really how we see us getting people to the table, having those conversations, but also saying, hey, we have this idea, or hey, are we in a position where we could look at getting funding for this program? We'll get it started and then hand it off to someone. I'd love eventually, this is not a fact, this is not blessed by our board, but my vision of the future for United Way is we're ones where we see a problem, we come up with a solution, we develop it, then hand the program off to someone else to run it and do it. But it'll be a way to leverage our connections, our size, and our ability to get people to the table to come up with that right fix. The more people, the better. Sometimes there's personalities, and really, when you look at it, we're doing really good work for the region and the community. Let's all come together and leave stuff at the door.
On that note, let's take a break. When we come back, I mentioned earlier a lot of new things that are going to be coming down the pike in 2026. Giving circles are one of those. Can we talk a little bit about those in the next segment?
Yes, ma'am.
We're on the Zooms today with Andy Gale. He is CEO at United Way, Northern Shenandoah Valley. We're going to come back and learn about giving circles, specifically Small Business 365 and Women United, in just a couple of minutes.
This Tuesday, April Davis will change the world. She doesn't know that yet. All she knows is that she went to justserve.org and volunteered an hour of her time. Browsing through dozens of service opportunities in her community, April decided to spend her Tuesday evening serving dinner to mothers and their children at a transitional house. She doesn't know she'll be serving a particular mother and daughter who will be spending their first night in this home. April doesn't know that the hot meal she'll serve is the first this mother and daughter will have had in a week, or that the simple smile she'll offer as she serves them will help them realize that things are going to be all right. Which is why this Tuesday, April Davis will change the world. See the difference you can make. Sign up for service opportunities in your community. Visit justserve.org.
Welcome back to the Valley. Today, I am your host, Janet Michael. It is United Way Day, the first one of 2026. I am on the Zooms with Andy Gale, United Way, Northern Shenandoah Valley CEO. We talked a little bit in the first segment about the pillars, which are all of the community needs that United Way makes an effort to try and solve or make better for those people who are struggling in our communities. But Andy, we mentioned before we went to break, and part of our conversation earlier was about giving circles. And I have to admit, I wasn't 100% familiar with what exactly they were. Let me tell you that Victoria from Hideaway Cafe has certainly educated me on what they are and why they're important and how valuable they can be, not only to businesses, because she's going to head up our Small Business 365 one, but to the people that want to give and be involved.
Yeah, so really giving circles is a neat idea. You've seen more and more research lately that's showing giving's down, that philanthropy is in this strange power grab of those that can give at large gifts, those 100,000 plus, $1 million plus. The top 1% of givers are really making up the bulk where individual giving is down. If you look at it, how can we democratize philanthropy? That's really our goal with these. And this is not something that we came up with. I wish it was. That would have been great. We saw it other places and thought, oh, this could work really well. Giving Circle is a unique thing. Started small. So say you got a group of friends. So you can get your radio show regulars. So me, guys, all the people that come on all the time say, hey, we're going to meet at a restaurant. Everyone bring $100. You bring your $100, you say, okay, we want to make a difference. Do we want to give it all to the waiter or waitress as a tip? Do we want to find a project we care about? So now there's 10 of us at $100, that's $1,000. Or 10 of us at $1,000, that's $10,000. How can we come together as a common group, dedicated and focused on making a difference, and use that money and leverage them together? If you look at it, it's what United Way has been doing for years in our workplace giving. So the Trexes, the Valley Health, the First Banks, REC, Navy Federal, all the ones that are doing those monthly giving campaigns where it comes right out of their check, that's great. What if you have a small business? What if you are retired? You don't have that easy ability to give at a monthly or give yearly, and then it's just your one gift. What if you got like-minded people together and said, I want to focus on X for the year? You bundle your money together, you make a bigger difference. So it's our impact grant model, but done at a micro level for those that aren't giving in the workplace, those that don't have a workplace, those that want to see their money multiplied. Kim on our team did the math. $1 invested at the United Way is $1.77 in impact. I want to get that last 33 cents. I would love to say every dollar invested in United Way, $2 comes out of it. We're close. I think this might be a way for us to do that. What we're going to do is we're launching 2 giving circles with more to come. First is Small Business 365. This one's targeted to those small mom and pop businesses Think on the downtown mall in Winchester and Woodstock and Front Royal. Talking to Victoria, who's going to chair Small Business 365 for us, she gets hundreds of thousands of dollars in asks a year, and Hideaway Cafe is very, very generous. They give a ton of money out and do a lot of good. Well, this is a way she can still do good, but we're going to add in. I think I know a social media and marketing expert that might do a lunch and learn for me. Maybe give a free radio show. Different ways to make this a beneficial thing for everyone where not only will these members of our small business circle have an ability to network, have an ability to say, hey, I found this bulk order on gloves. We can order more. You need them. I need them. Why don't we work together? Make a friend group that way. But in the end, everyone will pledge either $1 a day, $3 a day, or $5 a day. So starting at $365, going to up to just over 2,000 at the $5 a day, you'll be able to go in, leverage that with other businesses that are doing it. And then you guys as a group get to come in and say, hey, we want to give out one big grant. We want to give out a bunch of little grants. We want to open it up quarterly to sponsorships, to this, that, and another. It's a way for us as United Way to help guide you guys and say, hey, here are the issues we're seeing in the community. Here are some wonderful organizations. We'll do all the vetting. For those that know about donor advised funds, it's doing that at a small local level.
It's also really good because so many people that have the ability to give $1 a day, $3 a day, $5 a day want to do that, but they also want to be involved. And this checks both of those boxes. This gives people at any of those levels the ability to meet other like minded people that they wouldn't normally get to do if they're just going to write a check and put it in the mail or have it deducted from their bank account or charged to their credit card. It gets them in a room with other people. And then they all get to decide, hey, we really want to tackle food insecurity. So let's take half of this money that we've all raised over this year and let's buy this, or let's give a grant to CCAP or Highland Food Pantry or any of the other. There's a cupboard. Isn't there a cupboard in Strasbourg? There's a food cupboard in Strasbourg. I can never remember their names, so now that tells me I need to get them on the show so that I can remember them. But yeah, page 1 in Page County, it allows people to be able to be involved and engaged in the giving as well as giving in and of itself.
And Victoria and I were talking to Danny at Snow White Grill. They're getting asked all the time, support this, do that. This is an easy way to say, hey, I give through this. If you're interested or looking for support, apply for this grant. It lets United Way be that buffer. Or say you want to give at a different amount. You want to do more than $365. You want to give a lot more. We can help coordinate getting that out. We're in that unique position as United Way where we're not the community foundation that's holding funds and giving out and structured investments. We're a give it in. We'll help you make sure it gets out to the right people and makes an impact. We check the 990s. Poor Janet and I's hands were falling off the other day because we signed almost 70 checks for donor designations. So those that give in the workplace or anyone that gives to United Way can say, hey, I'd like to give to you, but then the money to go towards this nonprofit, this subject, any of our pillar areas. So we wrote checks out to everyone from Bright Futures, Blue Ridge Cares, to even small little ones to, I think Fremont Street Nursery got $17. Those are gifts that people wanted to give, and we facilitate that. So we're able to get money in, get it out, vet it. So we have their 990s. We've looked at their audits. We've looked at everything to make sure that they're using their money to the best ability to fulfill their missions.
It is very similar to what Barry started when he started Chain of Checks. Everybody send me $1 and we'll take all of these checks that are $1 and then we'll find a nonprofit to give them to. The only difference is we're allowing the people that are sending in those checks or those dollars in that group to make those decisions.
Yeah, that's me the really cool part. That's how I got involved with United Way. Before I was working here, I was on an impact grant panel because Woodmark, when I was there, we didn't do the campaign. We didn't give through our paychecks, but we gave in other ways and through our foundation. I knew Elise when she was still here and she said, hey, come sit in this panel. Okay, cool. Why not? It was a great chance to learn from the community, hear from these nonprofits, and help guide where the money go in the impact grants. This is going to be smaller grants, different grants outside of our impact grant process, still giving out, still giving money to people, still making a difference to help these nonprofits help people in our community. That's the one thing with United Way. We don't help individuals. We help the organizations that help individuals. And that really puts us in this unique position to fundraise, to make a difference, but find the best path and be the most efficient use of your dollar. I'm going to get that last 33 cents, Janet. I'm going to do it.
Women United is another one of those giving circles that just has a different spin on it. So, where Small Business 365 is mostly geared towards small business owners and the perks will reflect what small business owners want, Women United is similar in that it's going to be a group of women that get together and maybe they do a fundraiser or they write a check to be a part of this giving circle, and then they choose mentorship. Maybe they want to give money to Girls on the Run. Maybe they want to do something that empowers women. They're able to take that fund and do that because it's something they all believe in.
The focus of that one, they had it a few years ago pre-COVID. We're pivoting a little bit. That one was much more engaged, involved, volunteer focused. This is going to be that true giving circle where this group of women want to make a difference, leverage their money, make a collective impact in an area that they decide. That's not going to be me saying, oh, hey, you should fund this. So Charlottesville's been doing Women United for 25 years. Their United Way has grown it. It's been a really great program from them. They blend both education, but also networking and social and fun. What they do is they'll have a quarterly meetup. Sometimes it'll be to learn about what nonprofits do. Really similar to the Chamber CLP program that you and I are running in like a week or two. It's a way to show people what's going on in the community, know what's going on. And then what they can do from there is once a year, they'll be able to get together and as a group say, we want to give broadly. We want to give to this specific area. We want to look at women and children. We want to look at domestic violence. We want to look at education. It's really this group's ability to say, here's how we want to give. Do we want to do open calls? Do you want to put something out where we let the nonprofits apply? Do we want to make a surprise gift? It's really up to the women in the group and how they want to do their philanthropy.
So, where do people go to get more information about both of these giving circles, learn more, or say, hey, I want to be a part of this?
We'll have stuff up on the website to sign up for more information as we're getting details worked out. So it'll probably be towards the end of January that we'll have everything up and loaded, but I'll have a page up by the time this airs. Gotta love pre-recording in the Zooms. But we'll have a page up on our website where you can click and get more information on the Small Business Circle or Women United. And then we've even talked about doing a general community one where say you don't have the ability to give through your workplace. Do you want to give? Do you want to give to a group and have your own involvement in the impact grants? Like I said, we want to democratize philanthropy.
So before we wrap up, we're recording on the 31st of December. People are listening on the 2nd of January. And over the last couple of weeks, we've heard a lot about end of year giving. I don't know how many of these letters I've gotten in my mailbox in the last 2 weeks. And I've filled out a few and sent them back and done what I could as best I could. But just because the year 2025 is gone doesn't mean people can't give in 2026 and have it have an impact. We should start a whole first of the year giving instead of end of the year giving.
You can always give. That's the nice thing with philanthropy. We'll take your money any day of the week. You can give online. We're going to run some fun campaigns throughout the year. We're going to do something for Valentine's Day. We're going to do some other things throughout the year that aren't the normal times. So yeah, you might not be able to write it off your taxes this year. Hopefully you've already given to us. Thank you in advance. But there's always ways to give throughout the year. The need doesn't stop. The need is not just in December. While December is always a great month, like I said earlier, we're seeing from Chronicles of Philanthropy and all the research we're doing that giving is down. It's down 20 to 30% nationwide. It's to do with economics, it's due to inflation, things like that. But one-time gifts of $10 is going to make a difference because if 10 people give $10 or 100 people give $10 or 1,000, numbers are scale. Talking to people in nonprofits that are doing capital campaigns, you can break down $250,000 is 1,000 people at $250. That's doable.
Right?
That's 100 people at $2,500. So look, if we want to give out $100,000 here and there, 1,000 people at $100. We have lots of ways to do it, lots of ways to break it down. There's a lot of people in our region and a lot of people like to give. That's the thing when I talk to the other United Ways across the Commonwealth and even across the country, we're very giving. Our community is very rich in givers and those that care and want to give back because I think we have a sense of community that others don't have. And that's something I'm proud of and proud to support. And that's where I think United Way can play that role and help people really make a difference and keep our community vibrant and resilient, some might say.
Give me the website.
It is United Way NSV, Northern Shenandoah Valley.org.
Follow on all the socials.
We are all of them. Emily's been helping with our social media and doing a great job. A lot of love a jump scare when I'm in a reel that I didn't know was coming. I'm like, oh, that's me. We're having
it
some
freaked
fun
me out a little too, I gotta say.
Yeah. It worked. It was entertaining. I'm glad. But yeah, we have a lot more coming because Day of Caring, we're going to announce the date soon, and that's in September. So we have lots of things coming throughout 2026, and it's our 80th anniversary. Lots of fun things in store United Way-wise.
Thank you for taking the time today to give me a sneak peek. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you as always.
However you spend your first weekend of 2026, I hope you enjoy it. I will be back on Monday with a brand new episode of The Valley Today. So meet me back here just a few minutes after noon.